who doesn't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so hi everyone. I'm Leah. I'm a French writer and costumer, and I started a AuthorTube channel not so long ago, and just recording my progress and sharing it with the whole world.
Which can be scary.
Yes.
All right. So, who are some of the authors or creators you admire, and how have they helped influence your writing style, if they have at all, or the way that you approach storytelling?
I still have a hard time figuring out what my writing style is, especially since I started not so long ago doing it like seriously, I guess. I write in two languages, in French and in English, so it's a bit hard to know how I want to write. But my favorite author definitely influenced what I wanted to write as a genre. So I really am into fantasy and all sorts of speculative fiction, also historical fiction also. But yeah, I don't know if I picked up their writing style as well.
Of course, you said you're new to everything.
Yes.
So once you start experiencing a little, experimenting a little bit, and writing multiple books, hopefully, and short stories, whatever, your voice will come together. Your
Yeah.
style will come together. So yeah, that's expected. What exactly made you choose to start writing, and sharing it on AuthorTube, and to pursue it seriously?
So I have to contextualize a bit. I used to, when I was little, I used to write a lot. My father, he used to tell me that I was more understandable in written form than in oral form.
Yep, that's me too. Everyone says that. Like,
Yeah.
you can explain yourself so well in writing, but when you talk, you have trouble like
Yeah,
getting out
exactly.
what you're trying to say.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I used to write a lot, but the thing is, I had multiple projects, but I didn't finish none of them. If we go back to July 2024, so last summer, I was a bit bored at my day job and I wanted to start a new hobby. So I was like, okay, so I remember that I loved to write when I was a kid. So like maybe I should try to do it more seriously. And I watched a lot of videos on the craft, Skillshare classes also. And I just set myself a goal to finish draft one of a project that I had in mind for a long time, and yes, to finish it by the end of the year. And I did. So I'm
Yeah.
like that was so interesting. And then I had the need to share this new passion.
Mhm.
Yes, sorry, my accent is so bad. With other writers,
Mhm.
and I also started to watch AuthorTube videos, and I really like them.
Mhm.
And one day I hopped on a chat on a live stream, and it was so nice. I really like the vibe. The people were really friendly and really interesting in what you were doing. And I joined a Discord, and it made me want to have my own AuthorTube channel.
Right.
In July also I launched a YouTube channel in French, but
Mhm.
more specialized in costuming, sewing, and fantasy events, because I'm really fond of that. And this new channel, it's more like a challenge for me to challenge myself to speak in English in front of a camera. Also, I wanted to do live writing sprints, so
Mhm.
uh, it really helped with that also.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You may feel like, your accent is terrible, but it's actually really, really good. And two languages. Is it only, French and English?
Yes, it
Or
is.
anything? Okay, yeah, two
Yeah.
languages. Look at you. Better than me. I only know English. I need to learn something else. Maybe you can teach me some French.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
Ever experienced self-doubt or struggled with your confidence as a writer, and how do you get through those moments?
Yes, of course, it happens a lot to feel self-doubt, especially I think as a lot of people, I have a strong imposter syndrome. Sometimes find that I'm a fraud or that I don't have original ideas, or if I have original idea, if I have interesting ideas, I don't really know how to put them on paper and make them alive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remind myself that I'm still learning, and I'm new to this process, and it's normal to feel that way, so it helps.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't put a lot of pressure on myself. Like I set deadlines and stuff, but like I don't put a lot of pressure on myself about writing. I don't want it to be the end goal. Like I don't want it to be my career.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just something that I do to please my little self. Like I think 8-year-old me will be so proud of me to know that I finished 2 books. Well, 2 drafts at least, but like yeah,
Right. And
yeah,
I know she is proud of you.
yeah. I hope so.
She is. And I was like, when I was talking to Dami about, when she was writing when she was younger, and it started with a deer or something like that, and she wrote a story about a deer, and she was like so happy about it, and then she showed her mom, and I was like, well, it's actually not good, right? And then that helped her, like, get used to critiquing and then changing things
Mm.
and learning from it. Do you remember any stories from when you were younger?
Yeah, actually, I remember the first story that I wrote. It was about a horse who was setting on a journey, I guess, and he met like lots of other animals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember much, but like I remember writing it on my little notebook,
Mm-hmm.
drawing the image of the horse and stuff.
Okay, Arthur
Yes,
and illustrator.
yeah, a bit.
Yeah.
I like to draw. I liked to draw also when I was little. Yes. So and I was really I had a very supporting family. They were really supporting for this hobby, I guess. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, you're really good at writing."
Always great to have friends and family that actually, back you, support you,
Back you. Yeah,
make you feel valid for wanting to pursue
exactly.
something
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, and it's great that you have that too. Are there any like real like big challenges that you've had so far?
I think my biggest challenge is like the revision process, because it's the moment when you have to refine the rough idea,
Mm-hmm.
and it's where a lot of self-doubt is coming, I think, because when
Mm-hmm.
you're drafting, it's just like when you can. It's more like a freeing experience, and but when you're editing, it's more like you questioning everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I'm in the revision process of my
Okay.
first novel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, project, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and I found it really hard. Yes, and I had to put it away for quite a few months, and now I'm getting back to it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I want to
No.
change the whole plot and stuff.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
That's what happens. Like
yeah, I guess.
revision. Oh, I can't stand revisions.
Yeah,
Um, and like you said, when you're actually writing the story, it's more free because you're just getting it all out on paper. But
exactly. Yes.
yeah, you come to revisions, you gotta put everything under a magnifying glass. You gotta, sometimes you gotta take things out you may not want to take out.
Mhm.
And it's hard because you have to look at literally everything, like characters, setting, like is your world, like, can you really envision it? Did you put everything, like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean with that.
Like exterior opinion and feedback is so important, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it really
Right.
helped me also already, because I sent it to some beta readers,
Mm-hmm.
and some ignored me, but like some had really some
No,
had really
y'all didn't ignore her. Who was it?
no, but like
Who was
I guess they didn't have take the time to read it, but you should tell the people, you should tell the writer that you don't actually you don't have the time to read it. Oh, and but some of them have been a great help.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like
Okay.
and I think it's not always the most positive feedback that's the
Right.
best.
Right.
Yes, it's the most constructive, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The one who gives you a suggestion and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Right. You can tell, like, this is why I think is so important when you curate beta readers, because sometimes, like, if you just, go off and find some beta readers from somewhere like Fiverr or wherever, for one, you're not supposed to pay for beta readers if anyone does that. But, and their feedback, you can tell is kind of like generic in a way, like they're not really paying attention to the story and immersing themselves in it, but they're looking at it from, like, just checking like spelling, grammar,
yeah,
basic level things, which is why I think it's better to do revision workshops, because you actually have writers that can look at it from first a reader's point of view and then a writer's point of view and give you a bunch of, helpful feedback as far as, could we feel these characters, like what maybe would we advise that you could, change about it, that maybe it doesn't line up, as we read it as a reader. Like, there's a lot of helpful, more in detail feedback from workshops. um
mm.
so yeah, when we start ours, I'm gonna message you, let you
Yeah, of course. Oh, that's so
know.
nice. It sounds a really great idea, like a workshop when everyone can help each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Mm.
Yep. That's what we're here for, to
Yeah.
help each other. Has your vlogging about your writing journey affected your approach to writing? Does it like motivate you or add pressure?
So I decided to not put pressure on myself with AuthorTube and video process
Hmm.
because I'm making these videos mostly for myself. I have right now I have a really small audience, and I'm just starting,
Right.
So it's really for proving myself that I'm capable of speaking in front of a camera in another language, and it's also like help me check my progress,
Hmm.
like a log.
Mm. Mm.
Um,
Yeah, like a little diary.
like a diary, yes.
Okay.
So I don't do a lot of vlogging, but I just like to like talk about my project, my characters, and the where I am
Hmm.
uh, right now and stuff. So, but also I think it's also a different art medium, like editing a video, and I enjoy it. As I'm starting to enjoy it, I think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, even though my computer is not always cooperating.
Right. Um, no, I could tell, just looking at your videos, starting from your AuthorTube newbie video to
Mm.
your most recent one about,
Yeah,
um, traveling, and where was it again? Where did you go?
I
Um,
was in Paris.
Paris. Yes,
Yes.
that I like that video. I enjoyed it. I can really tell, the difference from start to now, where you're
Yeah.
kind of getting more comfortable on the camera, and learning the ropes, just like I'm learning myself right now
Mm.
with all this vlogging stuff. But yeah, I can tell, doing your thing with your current project. Tell us, like, what are you most excited for about this project? Like, what excites you? Tell us a little bit about it first of all. Like,
Yeah. Um, so the project I'm working on right now, because I
Mhm.
just finished one like in the end of April, so really it was a gothic novella in English.
Okay.
And now I'm going back to my political fantasy written in French.
Okay.
Uh, so it's really difficult to describe it, to describe your project.
Right.
It's
Especially in the phases, the revision
Yeah,
phase.
exactly, and trying to like pitch it and stuff.
Right.
But basically, it's like it tells the story of a royal bastard,
Okay.
yeah, who come back to his hometown and try to meddle with political stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets messy, I
Messy.
guess.
We
Yeah.
like messy.
And what I like about it is like it has a really interesting family dynamics,
Okay.
relationship and stuff.
Okay.
um, I ask help from an author to like help me get motivating to start again my revision, because I did it a bit in January, but like it didn't go well, so like I put it aside for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm getting back to it, and I'm like, I can do this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to remember why I want to tell this story,
Yeah.
because it's a story I brainstormed it 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was, and I did also a very detailed outline, and so that's why I wrote it quite quickly, I guess, because I had already the plot and stuff, so I just had to draft it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
And it's the ones that stick too. Because 10 years, that story ain't going nowhere. So you know
Yeah, I guess
right.
the characters and the concept is stayed in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, yes. And I tried at many times to start it, but I couldn't do it. I wanted to explore the concept of this idea of dynasty. That's it's a kind of family tree, and it's like people from different generation who lives their lives, but at the same time we see it like a continuation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to explore that, and also because I'm really fascinated by medieval history. It's a low fantasy, so there's no magic in my universe. It's
Okay.
really based on medieval Europe,
Right.
but I created all the countries. I did a map also. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that map
yeah,
on your video.
yeah.
I was like, wow. If I tried to do something like that, it would not come out like this. Like, dang, that's and it was detailed too.
Yeah, well, actually, I draw it on paper, and then I ask someone on Fiverr to put it
Oh, okay.
to do it in this way, in this medieval cartographic way, I guess. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
mm.
Um, so this so this bastard, right?
Yeah,
He this bastard, we gonna understand first and foremost that he is a bastard. And I
yeah.
think
It's very ah,
is it
I
like
don't,
does it have like any like humor in there? Or is he just a messy bastard and it gets weird or like not weird, but you know,
I
gothic
think there's a
vibes.
bit of sarcasm because he has a very dry humor.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm.
Okay. Well, is so the one so that is that your one that's written in French?
Yes.
Okay. So the one that is in English, that's the one that is gothic type
Yes.
vibes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the our bastard here, he's like the medieval Europe. 'Cause-
Yes.
okay, okay.
Exactly.
So with your one that's in English, do you have like a title for that one yet? Oh,
Yes, I want to call it the Raven Society.
oh, I did hear that before. Okay.
Yeah.
The Raven Society. And what's your main character's name?
In the Raven Society,
Mm-hmm.
I tell the story from the point of view of the youngest sister. She's
Okay.
called Beatrice.
Beatrice, all right.
Yeah. But she's yeah, she come to Edinburgh in the 1920s for a vacation with her siblings.
Okay.
She has a brother and sister and their friends. So, and then a lot of stuff happened.
Right. Right.
They,
You don't
I,
if you don't gotta share it, but if you want to. But we know, things change, so
yeah, so It's really vibey, with I guess lots of symbolism and haunting places. I really try to transcribe the feeling that I had when I visited Edinburgh, because I lived there for 9 months as an exchange student, and I really love this city. So it's
Okay.
kind of a homage to this city, this story.
Okay. Cool.
And
Cool.
it's known for to be a place of ghost story, haunted place and stuff. So
I love those places. I love
yeah,
haunted places. Like,
yeah,
'cause
me too.
that's all. Like around where I'm from, like Virginia, North Carolina, there's a lot of history here. First of all,
Mm,
but there's, I mean, all kinds of ghost stories
mm,
and folklore. So yeah, I love those type of areas with history and just strange things. So that's gonna show up in the Raven Society. A little
yeah,
bit of that. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I like that. Um Now I do remember in one of your videos you said something about you don't like using present tense or
I don't know. Maybe it's like because in French, fiction is usually written in past tense.
Mhm.
So like I'm used to it, and also I don't really like first person POV.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Uh,
can't argue.
yeah, I don't know. I prefer third person POV, but I don't know how to explain it. Why? I think it's hard to be in the character's head and not sound cheesy, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so like
I think
'cause-
when I read first person POV, I think usually it's like a bit cheesy. I don't know how to
okay.
explain it.
So like cuz I think you said I think you said something like it like first person point of view feels like childish kind of in a
Oh
way.
yes, a bit
Like okay.
childish. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I can cuz at first like I it just depends. Like if I do like a like short story, depending
Mhm.
on what the theme is,
Yeah, of
um,
course.
I might go for a first person, um, but not present tense. But I do prefer third person, past tense for writing stories. I mean, it just feels better to me, especially being able to put in a better narrator's voice, if that makes sense, when it comes
Mm.
to third person. Um, yeah, I mean, I can relate, but I feel like it just depends on the story for me, like
Yeah,
what
of
I'll
course.
use.
Yeah, maybe it's a strong opinion of mine from me.
Which is valid. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know, but it doesn't mean that I don't like. I think like I'm not the kind of person that like, oh, it's a first person POV. I'm not going to read it. I'm going
okay.
to try anyway. But it's just like in
You can't get past it. You can't
I'm
get
more
past it.
no,
It-
it's just I'm more comfortable with my writing to use third person and
yeah,
past tense. Yeah.
of course. I mean, have you like tried doing first person present tense? Like, it just doesn't like feel right to you when you try to do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, I mean that's like for if I'm trying to anybody trying to write, second person or something,
Yeah.
second person, that's extremely difficult. But
Mhm.
yeah, some people just don't click with them. But that's all right.
But who knows? Maybe I'll try first person in my challenge.
Right.
Yeah,
Ooh,
maybe.
you know what? We gonna add that into into the challenge. She's
Yeah, into
not
the
allowed.
prompts.
Right. You are not allowed to use nothing but first person present tense. Now that you done said so. So is there like a favorite character that you have that you've written?
um, so in my gothic novella, The
Mhm.
Raven Society, I think there's a character. He's not the main character.
Mhm.
He's called Artie, Artie, I guess,
Okay. Okay,
and
Archie.
he has quite a significant role in the story. Yeah, because I think he's really interesting. He has a very sarcastic and dry humor, but it's like a facade.
Mhm.
And at the same time, he's very self conscious and tortured on the inside.
Mhm.
he is like he's not part of the family. He's like their friend, so he's a bit like I always been there, but like at the same time I don't really fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Do you follow any other AuthorTubers that speak French, write in French, or anything?
uh, just one or two, I guess. There are not a lot of them, and it's more like their video are more like advice than vlogs.
How do you handle constructive criticism?
Mm. So actually, I like negative criticism when it's constructive because
Right.
it's so helpful. For this project in French, that was funny because it was not the it was I reached out on Instagram to ask some people to better read my novel,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really know how to do it. I didn't like choose them. So I sent it to many people, but not a lot answered back. And it's like friends of friends who really helped me with very interesting and constructive criticism. I
Okay.
think one of them, she didn't really like my story, but she was very thorough in why she didn't like it.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, she's right, actually. I should improve that.
Right, which is good still to
Yeah,
go.
so it really helped me to know what was wrong with the story and how to improve it. Some people are just like, oh yeah, that's nice, or oh no, I didn't catch with the writing style or the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like,
Right.
okay, what
But why?
what can
But
I do
why?
about it?
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right. Because you need someone that's able to articulate where
exactly.
exactly things
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and she pinpoints a lot of problems, and she was like, "This doesn't make sense," or "Why is he behaving this way? He shouldn't be behaving this way, in my opinion." And you learn to make the. I guess it's up to you at the end. So you learn what you want to incorporate in your edits and what to not incorporate. Like sometimes I'm like. I don't know if I want to do that.
You as a writer will know, whether there is something that, okay, this makes sense, that why it's not clicking or why I should change that, or, take this character out, whatever. But you'll also know, okay, well, this really could stay. Like,
Mm,
it could also depend on the type of beta reader, because they may have beta read your story, but might not be really interested in the type of story that you're telling. So they're going to be looking at it from a different point of view. That's why you have best-selling authors with, like, they'll have millions and millions of people that love the book, but hundreds and thousands of people that give it a one-star review.
mm,
And most of the time when you're looking at the one-star reviews, it's because they just don't like that, the narrator's voice, or the themes that are in there, or it's just not the type of story. Maybe they like fast paced and it's a slow burn, or stuff like that.
yeah, of
It just
course.
depends, right? It has to be for the reader, and that's what you're writing to, is one specific reader. So
Mm,
not everyone's gonna pick it up, like,
exactly. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Mm,
So important to think about that too when people start saying, I don't like this story. Well, it just might not be their kind of story. Anyway.
mm.
So yeah, very important information. Uh do you ever get characters stuck in your head? Like, they just won't go away?
But I guess from my first project that I imagined 10 years ago, yeah, I guess
Our
the
bastard.
characters.
Our bastard. He
Yeah,
got stuck in
exactly.
your head. Have you ever written a scene or a character inspired by any of your dreams?
I think so. This project was inspired by a dream.
Mhm.
The
Oh,
French novel, yes.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
what's the title of that story?
So it's called. So I gave it an English title
Okay.
actually. So it's called Fallen Dynasties.
Okay. Fallen Dynasties.
Yeah.
Okay. Put a title to it. All
Yeah,
right.
exactly. And so yeah, I dreamed it, and then I was like, I just kept sorry
It's all right.
rewatching this dream that I had in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I love this story. It's so interesting and so epic, and I don't know. And so I wrote a whole synopsis of it. Maybe not synopsis, but like an outline, I guess.
Okay.
I also did drawing of the characters because I was into drawing at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I did a family tree and stuff, so a lot of world building. I didn't really know it was world building, but there
Right.
was that. And yes, but I was really, I don't know, I had like something blocking me to start writing it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know how to write it because at first I wanted also to write about their parents. Actually, I
Right.
wanted to do like three books, like one about the parents, then the protagonist, and then I don't know, the end. And it didn't happen like that. I changed a few things when I came back to it, like last summer. And I'm really happy to how it's going. And I know that I want to do a sequel. Actually, I want it to be a duology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A- And so like the first, so it's a, I don't know if it's spoilery. I don't know. So like the first book is on the bastard. It's like his story on in the political turmoil and stuff and intrigues.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second book will be on his love interest, and she's going to become the main character of the next book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's I think doing those are so interesting, and you're either gonna love it or you're going to absolutely hate it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's so much more difficult, especially with revisions when you got to make sure everything's in sync.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, you're either gonna love it or hate it for sure. You might even just be like, you know what, we gonna keep this one book right here, and that's gonna be
Yeah,
it.
we'll see what happened. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I know that I would love to publish it someday, but maybe it's not. I will realize that it's not the project to publish because it's too ambitious or too. I don't know.
Don't you know what time it is?
I think so.
Do you think so? Good. Tell us what time it is.
Is it right on the spot time? Is it
Yep,
challenge time?
it's challenge time. So we are excited to see you do this challenge, and we all know what. Hopefully, we all know what the challenge is by now. Um, we're gonna have her spin the wheel, and then she's gonna have 5 minutes to brainstorm, and then 20 minutes to write the story. Now, let's just go ahead and get this little wheel up there and
Yeah.
get ourselves ready. Look at that.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. Let's hope for a good one. Good,
Yeah.
easy, good one. All right, let's see what we got.
Ooh.
Oh, ooh, ooh. Actually, this is a good one. I actually like this one. I've been waiting for this one to come out. So
Oh.
I know we can read, but I'm going to read it. All right.
Yeah. Go
All
ahead.
right. Here we go. It is heat wave. It keeps getting hotter, and things are also getting weirder. Write a scene or story that describes the strange things happening the hotter it gets. How do you feel
Hmm.
about that? How do you feel about that? Go ahead, tell me.
Oh, actually, I have I have an idea, but I don't know if we can do it
Ooh,
on YouTube.
you know what? Hey, we can do it.
Yeah.
We ain't got that many people watching yet. I
Yeah.
mean, what's your initial idea that you're thinking of, like when you see this?
Should I tell it? Like my initial idea is like the fact that you when it's really hot outside,
Mm-hmm.
you can become really horny.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
And it's like really weird to have like this kind of interaction when it's really, really like when it's a heat wave outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's hot outside and the sun is making you horny right now because it's so hot. But you don't want to be horny from the sun. Because it's hot out here. What's going on? Then it's making you hotter because you're horny and you're getting hotter. And then it's just getting weird. Okay. You know what? I see where you're going
Yeah.
and
It's
I appreciate it.
okay. I thought it was a bit weird. I hope I'm
No,
glad that you accept me
I
for what I
accept
am.
you. Of course. I mean, as a writer, we're all a little bit weird. We think
Yeah,
of the weird things. Got it. You
exactly.
know?
Yeah.
So we have an excuse.
Mm.
Um, so what we're gonna do at this very second is we're gonna get your Word doc. All right, 5 minutes are starting now on the clock.
Hmm.
We're down to a minute.
Okay. uh, Wow. Okay.
Okay, not using the whole time. Hold up. What? So you got all your little brainstorming out. Well, the time is up now.
Yeah, it's a
But
bit
look at that.
it's a bit short, but I think I have a concept in my mind.
No, I see. I see what you're going for, and I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay.
I
That's
completely understand where you're going with this.
mm.
All right, excellent. Now do you need a drink of water? You got to use the potty. You need to do anything at all.
How long do I have to write? 20 minutes?
20
20.
stinking minutes. We got our
Okay.
drinks. We're ready for action.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Let's go.
Ooh, ready and excited. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I have an idea. I must not let it fly away.
Right, we can't. All right. 20 minutes on the clock. Let's get
Okay.
it.
How many time does it do I have left?
We got 3 minutes.
3?
Yep.
Oh my.
3 stinking minutes.
Woohoo! Okay.
And it's time
Oh.
to.
Ah.
All right, look, it's okay. It's okay. It still went good.
Yeah, it's just like I got lost in the exposition and I
Mhm.
didn't manage to write about the weird stuff.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah,
But I
but
see the
20 minutes
path.
is going really fast.
It does, don't it?
Yes.
Especially when you gotta write a whole short story.
Mm.
It goes by fast. But I see the path that you were paving for the story. Still,
Mhm.
at least. And we get a little bit of your writing style and voice that kind of shines through when you're writing. Just from this bit right here. Um, so first and foremost, if you did have more time, where were you taking this?
Okay, so it's like she's having this hot flash and everything is going to start getting weird. And also she's going to I was thinking like maybe she's going to to start having this fantasy of I don't know, maybe the salesman, or
Mhm.
like everyone is around her, and also like the floor is going to melt or something. I was going in a weird way, but
Mhm.
I was feeling it, yeah, but
Okay.
didn't have time.
Right. No, of course. Well, what? What would you name it if you were to finish it? What do you think? Do you think you could name it right now?
Is it weird if I want to name it like a French word?
No.
No, so I would like I think I would name it La Canicule, which means a heat wave in
Okay.
French. But I think it
Hold
has
on.
a
Say that again.
La Canicule.
See, I want to try. I do want to try. I'm gonna try it in private though. I'm gonna try to say it in private later.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, heat wave in French. Okay, I like it.
Exactly. Because I think it has a kind of how can I say that? It's so weird, but like it has a bit of a honey element to it in
Mhm.
French more than in English.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like it better in French than in English, especially for a story with these kind of vibes. So
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Um, okay. And then, we didn't finish it, but it's good. So we're gonna have you read what you got so far to us today.
Okay. Let's go.
Let's go.
So you're going to have it with a French accent and stuff, so perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I hate this time of year, especially as I'm getting older and my body is reacting differently to its environment. Climate change is no joke. We've been having longer summers and more heat waves. Every one of them is harder to endure. Today the city is quiet, emptied of its lot of grumpy inhabitants. Most of them flew Paris and its excruciatingly hot street for the holidays to survive the heat by the sea. It's like I'm left alone in this huge town, experiencing in my very core the hard truth of the heat. The sun shines bright, a big fat yellow circle, burning the sky white. There's no wind, no tree, to cool down the macadam streets. I go out to the grocery store, escaping the living hell that my small apartment has become. In the small supermarket, there is air conditioning. I breathe in for a moment. I had forgotten what it felt like to be cool. The fresh artificial air is a salvation, and I consider camping here for the rest of the summer. But between the vegetable alleys, while I'm picking out tomatoes and cucumbers, the nightmare began. The good old hot flashes. Suddenly, I feel my cheeks flush, the heat slowly rising in my body. My hands get clammy, my shirt sticks to my skin like hot coals. I try to get closer to the fan, but nothing can stop this feeling inside me. It's like I'm melting, literally.
Okay. You know what? And I like it. I feel like I even like it more with the French accent in there.
Really?
Because I can see, like, as you're reading it, being the writer, I, I can really understand the voice, where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but this is really good. And look, we got to keep in mind 20 minutes, no type of editing, no time to do any like add anything more in there, or this is just the bones of starting from an
Yeah.
idea and getting it on paper. So this is really, really, really good, I would say.
Thank you. Yeah, I see a lot of um, bad phrasing, I guess, or no, like grammar stuff, but it's not my
Right.
first language, so
Right. Especially, yeah, not being your first language. I mean, it's not too bad with even the grammar, just looking at it here. Um, I mean, of course, I mean, no, really, I really don't see. What are you talking about? I don't see no bad grammar in here on this part. So stop. You trying to put yourself down. Look, I don't even see no bad grammar. She lying. Y'all all see this right here. That's right. Um, but no, yeah, like, and then looking at your brainstorming that you were doing up there with, her age, and then tying in it being hot, very, very hot, but she's also having these hot flashes at her age. Um, yeah, I can really almost put myself there in this moment.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to explore like older women's sexuality. Well, I didn't have time to do that, but that was the way where I was going.
Right, and I think that would definitely been interesting to see as well.
Mm,
Because yeah, I like strange, weird things and discussing topics that a lot of people
yeah,
probably won't feel comfortable discussing it, or think it's weird, but I think it's great.
thank
es-
you.
Especially for the heat wave. See, now I see how your mind is when it comes to writing.
Yeah.
There we have it. Now we see more of her, what her writing voice is, her writing style. Again, a new writer. She's I mean, she loved to write when she was little, 8 years old, but she's getting back into it recently. And when you have that passion and you are a writer, you're always going to come back to it, and it's going to spill out of somewhere that we don't know where it comes from, but that's where you see in this process it just spilling out of her brain onto the paper, and just the first idea into a story, the start of it. And so, I mean, how did you feel doing it, like with just that 20 minutes?
It was okay. I was a bit afraid to have really no inspiration at all, but it really I had an idea, and I knew where I was going. I struggled a bit with like the structure of of the sentences,
Hmm.
but otherwise it was yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was
um
really interesting. I want to continue it.
you should continue it, and then you know what, continue it and put it in your next vlog. Just make
Yeah.
it like a little short story, let us know
Okay.
how it ends.
Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and you better do it too. There we go. We're back in here at the fire. You see the fire in the back? How do you feel? Cozy?
Very
You
close.
feel warm? Like a
Uh,
heat wave?
yeah, heat
Like
wave. Yes.
okay, good. That's perfect for us right now. For other new writers, because we know there's going to be a lot of new writers that are new, just like you getting back into it, that are watching your videos, who they could be hesitant, you know what I'm saying? So, what advice would you give them and just jumping into it?
You just have to write. You know. Um, you don't don't think about how other people do it, or yeah. I think you if you have an idea, you should just write it, and then you can well you can perfect it later, I guess. So to become the new bestseller stuff, you just have to do it because it's like it's like a itch. You have to scratch it, and so you have to write it, to put it down on paper, and to be clear with your conscience and with your imagination, I guess. Yeah. So
Very
yeah, that
good advice. I know you're working on your second book on the third draft right now.
yeah.
Um, so what's next? Do you have like anything specifically planned for next
Uh,
for you?
so actually, I'm part of a writing workshop in Paris,
All right.
and we are going to publish a collective book together.
So it's gonna be like an anthology with like different short stories from different writers.
Exactly, yes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm
Okay.
going to I have submitted a poem, so it's going to be published in this book. So
Mm,
I'm pretty excited about it,
that
and
is.
be sure to include it in my videos. To show you
Yeah.
to show everyone like the poem and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, look at you. Did that I want to do something. Why don't we have anything like that out here in Virginia? I want to that would be so cool to do, like
Yeah, of
an
course.
anthology with other writers.
Yeah, you should really try to find like a writer groups in your area. I guess it might
Right.
exist,
But I
or you
just
should start it.
right, I could start it.
Yeah,
It doesn't even have to be in my area, but I could do it virtually still.
exactly. Yes. Mm.
Look at this. Giving me ideas. Lord, I don't need no more ideas, but I got some more ideas now. I like that. Wow, that's cool. Okay. Is there like a central theme that you're doing for that
Yes,
anthology?
we all are writing around a special theme, and they do a theme every year, and this year it's ecstasy.
Oh yeah, you did say something about. I saw that in the Discord.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
The ecstasy, yes, because you gave me when we were like brainstorming things.
yeah.
Yeah, you gave me the idea about like when I was thinking of ecstasy, I was thinking of like a person that has been afraid of death their entire life, and
Mm.
then they're dying, like that moment,
Oh,
that
wow.
right before death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, and I never thought of it that way, but it's super interesting.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be my ecstasy anyway, because that's
yeah.
like whole different, whole different thing.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, you can take that so many ways.
mm.
Where can our viewers find you at?
So I'm on YouTube at Leah Wisteria Writes.
I mean, I enjoyed having you today. We learned a lot about you, about your writing style, your writing voice, how your mind works,
Mm.
brainstorming process, all of that. Um, and I really enjoyed, hearing more about you and your story. And I hope you enjoyed yourself as well today.
Yeah, well, thank you for inviting me. It was really nice, and I hope it was interesting. Well, and I really like to talk with you also.
Good. And you
Yeah,
know what? We need to do some writing sprints together too
yeah,
in
of
the future.
course. Yeah, with pleasure. Yeah.
It better be with pleasure. No. It better be. Look, we're friends now. Now we friends. Ain't no backing
Yeah.
out of this friendship right now. You trapped now. All
You
right.
saw me right, so like you know
Yeah.
everything about me now.
Yep. All the personals. But okay, yeah. So, yeah. Go. We're gonna drop her channel in the description. So go follow her. Check out her vlogs. They're very personable and genuine. I think so. You'll really enjoy her videos she posts on YouTube. But yeah, like I said, it was great having you today, and thank you all for watching. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.